All right, welcome to the Successful and Single Podcast. My name is J1. I am Director of Hip Hop for Pandora, Program Director for SiriusXM Pandora now. I'm educated, a homeowner, I got good credit, no kids, and I am single. And that's what we're here to discuss, why so many men and women like myself are just out here single. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. We're not bitter about it. We're just going to have conversations and explore and get a better understanding of what's going on and hopefully help somebody out there in the process. Let them know that it's okay to be single and you're not alone. And through other people's experience, we can learn about ourselves and stuff. And that's what we're here to discuss, man, why so many successful single men and women are just out there. And which brings me to my next guest. I think I met this guy about 5 or 6 years ago. Always been solid. Always had good energy. He's doing big things. Plus, he's the Noops, man. So he already gets a gold star for that one. But I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What up? I am DJ Louie Vee, Program Director for 105.3 The Beat in Atlanta, iHeartRadio. This is my third market. It feels good to finally be in this space.
Doing big things, not only in the city. You DJ all up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, all over. I see what you're doing. You're doing big things. You're here in Atlanta, and you are single, correct?
Correct.
All right. So this is a question that I personally hate getting asked, but I always have to ask it for the purpose of this podcast. Why are you single?
I think it has a lot to do with, which I'm sure you can understand, balance. You know? And that's not an excuse. That's just more so of being in a position where you meet somebody. Things will go well in the beginning, of course. And like I always say, people will, in our situation, women, when we date women, they're supportive in the beginning. They're excited about what you got going on in the beginning. Like, yo, like, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm here to support or whatever. And then when that gets in the way of their time that they need or want from you, that's where the problems start right there.
Right.
And then you find yourself trying to balance your life out when you met a person and they know you had all of this going on. This is what they were supporting.
Right.
You know, and you're just not ready to sacrifice that time yet.
That's real. I think, especially as a man that is very career driven. I know how that is. And when you're focused on your goals and you want to achieve a certain level,
right,
you don't necessarily want to give that up, because I feel like if you do to sacrifice that time for somebody and you don't get to where you want to be, you end up becoming a little bitter towards that person. Not blaming them, but it happens. It's real. So what type of woman are you looking for?
Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation before I got over here. Okay. I believe I'm looking for, if I was to be looking, because honestly,
okay, I think so you're not looking right now.
No, the reason why I say I'm not looking, because apparently when we go looking for something, like apparently we'll get what we want, but it ain't what we need. If that kind of makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And then it's like, okay, we could pray about all of these things that we want in our lives, and we're asking God to give us these things, but when it comes to that, it's like, we gonna go get it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to wait for that prayer to be answered, because we don't know what she gonna look like, what she gonna turn out to be. It's like we got this physical thing in our head of what we want.
Right.
But I think someone to help me with what I'm struggling with, and the things that I'm struggling with is balance and my time.
Yeah.
If that's the same issue that I'm having with just about every woman that I've met, then there's something wrong with me. I know that's my issue. Okay, so I'm 36.
Right.
Okay. Right. So who the hell wants to be dating somebody for 3 years and then it's over? Now I'm 39 going on 40. Like, I don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I crack open this door again, then it needs to be a situation to where I'm looking long term. And if it's going to be long term, okay, these are the things that I'm struggling with. How can you help me balance this out? And whatever you're struggling with, put it to the forefront, and I can be able to explain how I can help you out. If we can't help each other out to find balance, because we're going to have to sacrifice time. We're going to have to sacrifice. Something is going to, if something is not going to get the same percentage of your time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once this person comes in, and that's the problem. So if I'm looking for anyone right now, she would have to be somebody that can help me with that and at least admit to me what she's struggling with and see if I can help her.
You said a lot right there. I want to dissect it, but you said so much and you dropped so many gems Let me ask you this: when was your last relationship? Oh, you gotta think that hard.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The would have to be like a real strong one that I actually would consider would be 20, maybe 14, 15,
Okay.
you know?
I mean, you've been moving around. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the term now? Situationships?
Situa-
There's been those. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's been those.
I think we've all had our fair
right,
share
and
of
those
those.
things tend to just string out for a long time.
But I mean, real relationship, y'all were together, committed.
Like 2013, 2014, something like that.
What happened with that?
I cheated.
Okay.
And she was dishonest about some things. And again, you just hold on for the sake of how long you've been together, the time that you put in, the soul ties, like all of that stuff played. You in the same city with this person, and you're just comfortable. That's what you know. You'll venture off, but then you eventually find yourself back. Just, you know, it was just comfortability. Nothing bad, but I would honestly say I cheated. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
that's real. I mean, you got to admit when it's you.
Yeah.
I've messed up plenty of relationships, and I will raise my hand. I say,
Listen.
yo, the common denominator in all my misdealings or failed relationships is me.
Yeah, you put the Bible right here.
I was right here. I was there for all of them. So I can't blame the other person for every single one.
Now, in that moment, we might not have admitted it the way we are now.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, me and you, we have similar backgrounds as far as being program directors, also being DJs and stuff. So I understand a lot of what you go through and like a lot of the grind. I mean, I kind of retired from DJ and stuff. I don't have the energy like that no more. But you know, your schedule, it's hectic,
right.
Especially being a PD. You're on call all the time, and then DJing, you're in the clubs at night and stuff. Do you find that women are kind of intimidated by that? Because I know when I was DJing heavy, women would say to me, or the ones who were intimidated, they didn't like that I was around beautiful women all the time, or I was around celebrities and stuff, and they would just be like, I can't commit to you because of that. Do you find that sometimes that women, I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, okay, so
you'll get a lot of women off of that, but you'll also, you know, kind of intimidate some at the same time.
yeah, it's like these same women will be attracted to what it is that you do, and then when they step into that light, it's like, oh no, I can't do this. Prime example, this happened before. A woman was telling me that why would I choose her? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, why me? Because you're around beautiful women all day. Your friends are beautiful. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I don't hang around ugly people who you would think is supposed to be ugly. That's the thing I just never understood. Like, how do you want my female friends to look to make you feel secure in who you are in my life? You know what I'm saying? That's some weird shit. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's intimidation. I think and it could be attached to the insecurity.
Sure.
Because now let me ask you something. Then we can.
No, let's go. This is a conversation.
Have you dated a woman that has been in a limelight?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Did you find yourself feeling some type of way when you were around her and she was the light in the room?
I didn't, just because I'm secure in who I am and I know how it is. So
exactly.
I could relate to it, and at the end of the day, as long as she's coming home with me,
right, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
and
exactly.
That's how I feel as well. Even if it's not a person in the light,
right.
The problem is we tend to find more that's not in that light.
True. And
we have to help adjust their insecurities. The way they look at the women that are around us, like right. Again, like these people can be like genuine friends, and they don't like that, and it's just like I get it, but at the end of the day, like that's the same thing that somewhat attracted you to me. Like you knew what I was doing, so I'm supposed to dumb down on who I'm around for the sake of you to feel better when you are around me. Like that's weird to me.
So let me ask you this, because this is always an ongoing debate. When you actually get into a committed relationship, is there some sort of boundaries that you need to set with your female friends? I mean, I have female friends who are married, but once they got married, there were certain boundaries of things that I could and could not do interacting with them, even like not even on some sexual stuff, but just calling them after a certain hour or texting them after a certain hour, like I was doing. Do you feel like if you do get in a relationship, you have to establish some boundaries with your female friends?
20-year-old something V? No. 36-year-old V? Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Now more so than ever because being single, you are available to everyone and anyone at any given time.
Okay.
You know, we both can be, you know, at homes in our cribs respectively and get a message 2-3 o'clock in the morning. If you happen to be up or wake up or coming home or whatever, you're going to respond to that.
Right.
That ain't gonna sit well with the person laying in the bed fucking next to you. You know what I'm saying? So, with that mindset, yeah, I would have to establish that because, and the thing is, I found out that we wait till for the woman that we're dating, we wait for them to establish those boundaries, and then when they ask us to establish those boundaries, then we get offensive. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus us being the first one saying, you know what? I tell you what, me and you are dating now. I'm about to go ahead and set these boundaries. You know what I mean? This is what it is.
Right.
At the same time, I'm the same person that has not set boundaries because we're on edge. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. So if it don't, I don't want to get rid of baggage. You know what I mean? And this shit don't go right.
Yeah.
Because then I'm be
So you hedging your bet, basically.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, and it's a lot of men that's probably in the same situation or has been in that same situation. I told you when I was at her, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I have no reason to lie.
And that's what we
truth.
want. You know, I've tried to hedge my bets in the past, but sometimes it gets expensive after a while.
Man.
Because because like if you're a true gentleman and you're taking a person out, you're courting a woman, you're gonna pay for it. But if you're doing that,
for sure.
You're doing that for 2 or 3 or 4 women at the same time, like. That shit starts to add up no matter how well you do it. Unless you like an NFL player, a scammer, a trapper, or a artist or something like that where you just got money to blow like.
Yeah.
But guys like us who are doing well but still got our limitations, that stuff adds up.
Yeah. So we might not say the check when we get the check, we might not say it out loud, but shit, you know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. So one thing that I kind of go back and forth with is dating women in the industry or dating women outside the industry, because I feel like both have their advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
What is your take on that?
As far as like,
what
do I prefer?
What do you prefer? Would you prefer dating a woman who's in the same industry as you are, or somebody that does something completely different, like a doctor or a lawyer or a school teacher or something like that?
All right. Shit. Shit. That's a good question.
Listen, I go back and forth every day.
That's
I got a different
one.
answer every day.
Okay, right. So, on a Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
Right, tell me the Tuesday answer.
On a Tuesday, I would prefer somebody in the industry. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I think they understand the time that we don't have.
Sure.
And sometimes you want to be able to understand the time that they don't have. And without it being confrontational. It's almost like it's an unspoken thing. Like, what you got to do today? You got to go where? Oh, okay. And without saying, damn, when I'm going to see you. You don't have to say that. It's like, I know that's what it is.
You get it.
Vice versa. On a Wednesday.
Talk to me on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
I'm going to give you my Tuesday answer in a minute.
On a Wednesday, it might be somebody in a completely different profession, only because you want to be that person up under them. You want that person to have the time that you have. The problem is with us, like you said, being in a programming situation, you're on call 24/7.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And whether you are, in my case, if I'm Vladimir when I go in the building.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then at night, I'm the DJ.
Right.
And then when I get off, I want to go home and be Vladimir.
Right.
But then I got to be Vladimir programming if some shit go wrong with the station. You know what I mean? So now I got to get up or be like, look, I got to dip. You know what I mean? Or I got to go do this or do that for the radio station. And then this person start asking like, damn, like, when are we going to do this? When are we going to spend time? And you and I both know programming, even if you take a fucking vacation, it's hard to take one because
you're still on call.
You become part of the program.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like you say, that's a struggle. I don't even know. Again, I would have to just find somebody now. I would prefer somebody that just can help me with the things that I'm struggling with, just balance, and I can try to help them with the same thing as much as I can. And I don't care what job that is. I mean, you could be out here selling water with them little motherfuckers out there in the street, bro. Like,
and that's real though.
Yeah, like I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like. I remember talking to a woman, and I told her it's like 2 to 3 sides to this shit. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, which side am I gonna get? And I'm like, I can't really answer that. Today this can just be going on. Tomorrow it can be something else. That's not intentional or on purpose, but this is the profession that I chose. So my sacrifice is my time.
Yeah.
My sacrifice is gonna be that. I don't have a lot of that. But they still like you. They still want to talk to you. They're interested. And let's be honest, you and I both ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
We're like full unicorns out here, dog.
Full
you know
unicorns. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So I don't know, man. That's a hard one. What's your answer? I couldn't tell you.
So my Tuesday answer is right now, I'm going to lean towards somebody not in the industry.
Okay.
And this is just my Tuesday answer.
Right.
That's how I feel today.
Right.
I'll give you the Wednesday answer in a minute. But the reason why I say that is I totally agree with you. A person or a woman in the industry will understand the time limitations. You understand theirs.
Right.
If you get the right one, they're not intimidated about what you have to do, or if you got to take a 1 a.m. meeting at Magic City knowing that it's a real meeting or something like that, or you're going to an event. At the same time, if something goes wrong, you still going to have to deal with that person in one capacity or another.
Absolutely.
The industry is very small.
Very.
You're going to run into each other, and depending on like how it ever went down, or if there was a breakup, or y'all just stopped talking, or just something bad happened, it could be real awkward.
And detrimental to somebody's career.
And detrimental if it really goes left. So that is like my biggest hesitation or reservation with dealing with somebody in the industry or dating somebody in the industry. And then also a lot of times women are fighting for not justification, but they're fighting like for their empowerment and to be treated equal in the industry. And they're used to the guys, especially people who do have power like us, approaching them or trying to holler at them, or other guys saying, oh, let's have a meeting with ulterior motives. And I never wanted to come off or be that person. So I try to make it a point to stay away from that, especially if I know I have to do business with you or something. Because again, I just don't want it to be awkward. I don't want it to be at that guy. But at the same time, I get what you're saying. Like the non-industry person, they won't get it.
No.
And they'll get frustrated, and they can work your nerves if they and stress you out.
And I think they get frustrated with not being able to understand what it is that we exactly do.
Right.
Like meeting somebody and it's like, okay, I'm a nurse or I'm a doctor.
Right.
Okay, cool. We know. You go in. I may not know all of the stuff that you got going on, but I know you are here to help or save a life.
Right.
Bet. Whatever that may entail, cool. But when it comes to us, it's like you're trying to explain to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a DJ retreat that's coming into town. I need to go to the fucking strip club because I was invited. What you got to go to the strip club for? You don't even like strip clubs. I don't. But I got to go. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, do you want to go with me?
Right. No, I don't want to go to the strip club.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But then they'll come and then be sitting there pissed the entire time. And it's just like, but you, so this is what you do? These are the things that I got to look forward to.
Right.
You know, dating you. And it's just like, yeah, kind of.
Too funny, man.
It's the truth, man. This is real life shit.
At this point in your life, how long do you think you should date a person or talk to a person before you get into a serious relationship?
Okay. At one point in time, it was 8 months. And I say that because I feel like 8 months, the honeymoon phase will wear off. You start to see each other for who they are.
So 8 months of like dating and talking and then committing to each other.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think you're gonna go through whatever it is in that point, whether that's disagreements, you get to see a person's you get to hear or see a person's point of view. That bonnet will come the fuck out by then. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's one of them things where you're comfortable. You get comfortable with each other, and then you get uncomfortable with each other as well, and then you start to notice certain things. So I always say 8 months. Of course, I don't know if that has ever worked because I'm single. But that's
a long time.
That's a long time, but I've never really just met somebody and just jumped into a relationship. And maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do things differently now and see if that'll help. I don't know, but I just feel like for me, because I'm a talkative person when I meet somebody that I like, so I don't have to take you out to get to know you. I pay attention to what a person says. So you're going to tell me everything that I need to know in the first first two conversations, because I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to look at your body language when you answer these questions. And then I'm picking apart the things that you're asking me, because that's letting me know what you really are concerned about. Shouldn't be 8 months down the line. Now you want to start asking, shit that you should have asked me a long time ago. Again, 20-something-year-old V, yeah, I wouldn't have cared now. This shit takes, like, what is it, the 7 Ps?
The 7 Ps?
The 7 Ps.
Break down the 7 Ps. I don't know the 7 Ps.
What is it? Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
That's a real answer. Another one I kind of go back and forth with, because I just seen it happen so many different ways. Prime example, my parents who've been married for 50 years, they met in January and were married by the end of the year. Kind of the same thing with my sister and my brother-in-law. Then I have a homie, him and his ex-wife, they were together in college, dated for God knows how long, maybe about 8 years, got married. I was in the wedding, and a couple of years later got a divorce.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, you just never know, because people get changed at any time.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
It is a gamble. So I get what you're saying. I do feel like, and I've done both. I've waited a long time to go into a relationship, and I've also rushed into a relationship. But I'm single, so neither one has really worked.
There we go. There we go.
So I don't have the answer. I just like putting it out there, because people have different things. Some people say, I got that 90-day rule, or I need a year, or whatever the time is. And some people was like, it was love at first sight, and we got married after 2 months. Right. So it's like, okay, well, what's the answer there?
And what is, I always ask you, what does that feel like?
Right. What does it feel like?
You know what I mean? Or people like, you would just know.
Yeah.
I thought I knew a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I knew a lot, but I mean, I don't know, man. This is a difficult situation to be in. Again, balance. Yeah, that's the struggle. Balance.
What pressures do you feel like we as black men have when it comes to relationships and dating, especially now? Women have their pressures that they deal with all the time, and not saying that ours are any more than theirs and stuff, because I'm a firm believer that nobody has it harder than a black woman.
I agree.
For real. And I won't even argue with that. But as black men, we have our own pressures that we deal with. And especially now, living in the social media society that we do, you got a lot of guys on there flexing and spending money. We talked about the athletes, the scammers, the trappers, and who is it? The artists and stuff like that. And even though we do well, we can't compete with that.
Hell no, I ain't trying.
I ain't trying to compete with that.
Nope.
So what pressures do you feel that we as black men kind of deal with when it comes to dating and relationships?
Comparison. You know?
Speak of man.
So I feel like people, women per se, now they have a tendency of comparing somebody else's relationships to theirs. So it's almost like, man, this is a dumb example. I think that was Sweetie that made the whole Birkin bag comment.
Yeah.
Now, again, we do well for each other.
That's right.
I ain't buying no $10,000 bag. You know what I mean? I don't see the point of doing no shit. Like, we could take $10,000 and spread that out.
Right. Now, if you got it, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
But we could spread that out. There's
Right.
something else we can do with $10,000 versus you putting something around your shoulder, walking around, boasting and bragging about. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But I think the comparison is what being compared to others is a big issue for a black man right now. At the same time, women are not allowing us to be the person that they're asking for. So they say, we want somebody that's vulnerable. We want somebody to open up. We want somebody to do all of these things. And that's fine. For the right one, we will do it. And I think they don't understand that. For the right woman, we will do it. The problem is we run into so many of the wrong ones to where now we are labeled as somebody that's just not going to get it right. Or he didn't do it for me. Or I don't know why you mess with him because he ain't going to do this. You know what I mean? Or what made her so special that you want to do it for her type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it is hard for us to be vulnerable at this point because now I feel like if we're not those trappers, scammers,
Right.
artists, football, basketball players, whatever. You know what I mean? If we're not that, then we're less than. But you and I have great jobs.
Right.
We might not admit it or put it out there, but we have a lot of power.
Yeah.
And to me, power is better than money. Because we can move and shake things.
Yeah.
So that is the intimidating part. You know, I feel like that's the problem. But again, I think it's pressure, but it's just pressure in a comparison like that. I don't think nobody really know what they want anymore because they're so trained or programmed looking at somebody else shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I take a woman that's off social media right now. Like, that's the answer to the question.
Now that's a unicorn right there.
Yeah, you know?
Man, no, you really said something when you said comparison because a lot of times women will compare us to a bad relationship that went wrong with them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And now we have to overcompensate to show that we're not those dudes or we're not that particular dude. Or when you get somebody, I forget the guy's name that cheated on his wife with the bonnet on and
Lord.
You know, but when somebody like him cheats, it's a bad look for all of us because they expect it from the athletes and the dirt bags and all that stuff. But somebody like him that was talking relationships and marriage and all that stuff, and he cheats, it's like, oh, I don't trust none of y'all.
None of y'all. Anybody with good words, wisdom, posts, or whatever, all y'all ain't shit. And it's just like, I mean, again, that is the issue for me. I think that's the issue. But we both are at an age where we grew up where there was no social media.
That's right.
When you get a girl number on a piece of paper, and then make her praying that you can call her without her mama picking up the phone, going off like it's too late or it's too early, and vice versa. Now, I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's kind of hard to play into that because again, we're so used to seeing what everybody else got going on, and then it's like, oh, this is nice. They're doing this. I want to do something like that? I got to find somebody that'll do that for me. You know what I mean? Because all of those women were saying that about that dude. They need to find one of him. And then when he came out and found out he was cheating, everybody threw
now I need to find me a Russell Wilson.
Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn. Like,
now, God forbid Russell Wilson cheats.
Don't let us down, Russell.
Don't let us down, Russell, because there will be no hope for black men.
We're done.
Anyway,
we're done. We're done.
Throw the towel. You're our last hope, Russell.